Bitches and faggots, what's going on? It's Jason Van Jason. I don't even know what episode this is. I think it's 4, maybe 5. I don't fucking know. I think it's 5 now. Anyways, how's it going? Before we get into things here, I guess we should go over the particulars once again. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, you can find me at Jason Van Jason. If you'd like to follow me on Facebook, you can create a Twitter and follow me at Jason Van Jason. I do have a Facebook, I just don't really use it. Why? Because I'm a stupid cunt, that's why. If you would like to follow me on WordPress, you can do so at Jason Van Jason on WordPress. You can find my blog there. I'm currently doing a fantasy story. I have lots of poetry on there. I have lots of different shit going on there. Not lately. I haven't posted to it in a minute, but I gotta get on that. I've been busy doing this. I've been busy getting more hours at work and shit. Been busy just doing this and that. But, I suppose you're never too busy to do what you love, so I must not love it that much. Anyways, so, those are out of the way. The first episode, we talked about guilt. The second episode, we talked about help. The third episode, we talked about enabling. The fourth episode, we talked about how to actually help people, which is like positive help, not just help in general, but positive help. And today, I feel like talking about success and failure. More failure than success. You'll see why I say that in a little bit here, but let me just kick this off with an idea that I was thinking about today. And that idea is simply that in life we have some tests to face. And the fact of the matter is that we have this idea that we can pass every test thrown at us. And that's not true. And in fact, some tests that we face in life, we're not meant to pass. In fact, a lot of tests. Let me give you an example. When I was a salesman, it wasn't a very good one, and that's okay, but when I was a salesman, the first day on one of the particular jobs that I worked, my very first sale, I wanted everything to go perfect. I wanted my book that I was going to use as a reference point to sell to be in the bag. I was going to use all the products together, and I was going to create this nice show and get this first sale under my belt, get some money in my pocket. I was like, fuck yeah. And so I go into this first sale, and all my product is messed up. I was selling a vacuum at the time. This vacuum was just in shambles when it wasn't supposed to be. And this book that I was going to base my whole sale on, the book of the vacuum and how it works and all the different properties of it and how you get value from buying this vacuum in your life over time, this book was nowhere to be seen. And it was supposed to be there, and I even fucking put it there. And I was pissed. I was fucking pissed because the fucking book wasn't there. And then I found out that my boss, after telling us that book is the most important thing, you need that book. Without that book, you can't sell. I find out my boss took my book out of my bag before I went to that first sale without me knowing. And he messed up my vacuum and had dust in it and stuff. And I made a mess in the person's house. It was just a fucking disaster. It was the worst thing. And I was crushed because I wanted to sell and I wanted to just pass this fucking test. And he sabotaged me. And I held it against him for a long fucking time. And I actually quit after that first day because I was so dismayed by that failure that I had experienced without realizing that he set me up to fail. Not because he wanted to see me go, but because he wanted to see me fail. And one of the things I learned in sales, which I should have applied, I even knew then, is that when you're in sales, often almost always, you're going to meet more failure than success. And your success is not defined by said success, but your failures and how you respond to them. You need to be able to bounce back from a failure in sales. When you don't get a sale, you just need to move on to the next one. And the fact of the matter was that I wasn't moving on from this failure. And he wanted to test me. He wanted to see how I would respond to the majority of what you do in sales, which is fail, which is actually a very valid test. But I didn't see that. I was wrapped up in my ego. I was wrapped up in my persons. I had financial issues at the time. I wanted this fucking sale, and I didn't get it. And I see now that the reason he did that was to test me on what you do in sales, which is fail. Success in sales isn't that big of a deal. You know, you get success and you move on to the next one. You get failure, you move on to the next one, but you gotta learn. And I didn't learn from that failure. All I did was go through it and experience it. And it was crushing. And all the other guys that were on their first day, they all got their sales. And that left me in an even worse spot because I was like, fuck, I let the team down. You know? Another time, I was playing football, and I was on my team. I was on my junior team, and I was addicted to drugs at the time, but, you know, I still didn't get that much field time. I was a bench warmer because I didn't show up to practice. I didn't do any of that shit, but I still expected to be treated like everyone else, even though I wasn't putting in the work like everyone else, right? And so the one time the coach puts me in, I'm on the defensive line, I'm on the end, and this running back, he manages to get outside of me, and I'm supposed to contain him, and I missed the tackle. And I was petrified because I missed that tackle. And I was broken after that. My coach took me off the field, and what's even worse is on the bus ride back, where I'm sitting amongst my team, I'm feeling down. You know, my team's feeling beat up. We just lost by a small amount. It was brutal. We could have squeezed out that win had I got that tackle, I imagine. Which, by the way, he ran for a touchdown after that. It was just heartbreaking for me. And the coach says to everyone on the bus, well, you know, we would have won that game if some people would make their tackles. And I was the only person that missed a tackle that game. So he could have made it worse by just saying my name, but that was just totally crushing. And I never played after that. That was my lowest point, you know. I didn't trust my family back then. I didn't really trust anyone but my football mates. And that football coach in particular, I trusted him a lot. And when he destroyed that trust with that statement, I didn't have anyone left to trust except my friends. And my friends were all drug addicts. I hung out with them. I was a drug addict too, you know. And I was just doing what all my friends did, just trying to fit in, trying to be cool. And so once the trust fell onto my friends alone, the first thing they say to me is, you know what? You don't need football, man. Fuck football. Football's not gonna... You're already in drugs. It ain't keeping you out, so what the fuck? So that's what I did. I quit football. And I descended from there. That was where my dissension began into the life that I lead today, which is okay. You know, you can't just focus on these things. But at the time, I focused on that hard, and there was a lot of pain and resentment that I had for a lot of years over that. And it was a small event, but a very significant event in where the direction of my life would go. I had no one after that. I was a complete loner at school after that. I didn't want to, you know, obviously I quit the team, so the guys that I trusted, they didn't want anything to do with me after that. You know, I let them all down and shit, and so I didn't see, though, that, and I don't know, I still think it was fucked up that he did that, but I was never giving myself the opportunity to bounce back from failure. And as a result, I didn't get to experience success. And I never knew what success was. And that's because I didn't allow myself to fail. I didn't allow myself to make mistakes. And that's an important part of success, is allowing somebody to make mistakes. All too often when someone makes mistakes, we as teachers, we want to grab that person and say, you know what, if you can't do it, then I'll do it myself. And we take away that person's opportunity to learn from their mistake. And then when they make that same mistake again, which they will because we've taken away their opportunity to learn from it, we punish them again. We say, oh, what, you didn't learn from your mistake? What the fuck? You know, you just made this mistake last time, so why are you making this mistake again? And this idea of taking away the opportunity to learn, and then that mistake happening again, and again we take away that opportunity to learn, and then it's this big mystery why this mistake keeps happening over and over and over again, is that we just didn't have an opportunity to learn from that mistake. And that's what success is learning from your failures and learning from your mistakes. A lot of people quantify life as the pursuit of success, but they don't understand what success is. To them, success is just a word. Success is just a feeling. Success is just, numbers to them. And they don't understand the path that it takes to get there involves failure. And so with that being said, if failure leads to success, if failure just tells you need to make an adjustment to find success, then it isn't really, if life is about success and success is about failure, then isn't life about failure? Isn't life about chasing to that place, chasing yourself to that place where you are failing and you are out of your comfort zone? Isn't that the truth? I think it is. And so many people just write their failures off and don't learn from them or run away from them, or even me. Like, I was the worst for that. I was what's called a self-saboteur. I engaged in so much self-sabotage in my life that I never wanted to experience success. I didn't know how to experience success. I could only experience failure, and when I did, I beat myself up about it. I had my opportunities to learn from those mistakes and failures taken away so many times that I just thought failure was in itself an outcome. And failure is not an outcome. Failure is just a process, a part of getting to that outcome. Failure is just something we all experience. And we all experience it differently, but we all feel the same about it. Failure is something that we try to avoid at all costs. And by avoiding that failure and finding success, we don't give ourselves the opportunity to learn how we were successful. And recreating that success becomes a thing of chance. Recreating that success becomes just a pursuit of success. And how can you pursue success when you don't know how to find it? How can you pursue success when all you're doing is running away from the road to getting there, which is failure? Failure is so important because it gives us the opportunity to not just learn, but to see, but to experience and see and feel failure. Because failure is not this thing that we should just freeze up on. Oh, I failed. Failure is something that we should not take for granted. It's an opportunity. Failure is not an outcome. Failure is an opportunity. And for those opportune enough to see failure for what it is, those are the people that find success consistently. And there's people who experience failure and break down from it and still find success. But they will never find a personal success. They'll just find an empty success, and once they find that success, they're on to the next one without looking at failure, without looking at, without experiencing failure for what it is. And like I said, failure is an opportunity. And all too often, we want to just punish for failure, and we want to have consequences for failure. Failure is such a divine thing. Failure is tough. We've been ingrained to run away from failure. We've been ingrained to not make that mistake again, and it's true. We shouldn't make that mistake again unless we haven't learned from it. Then we should definitely make that mistake again. Then we should definitely experience that failure again, because then we have an opportunity to learn from it. And it's not that we should always look for failure. It's that we want to allow ourselves the opportunity to experience failure. Even as some parents or some people who mentor others, we want to steer them away from failure. And we don't understand the disservice we're doing to those people by steering them away from failure. We don't understand the disservice we're doing to that person by setting them up for just experiencing success. And that's what my parents did for me. They wanted what was best for me. They set me up for success in every avenue possible, and couldn't fathom why all I found was failure. After they had repeatedly set me up for success, they couldn't understand why all I found was failure. And the truth was that all I was trying to do was find that success for myself, but they wouldn't let me. They were protecting me from that failure because they didn't understand what failure was. They didn't see that success is really so much more toxic than failure. Success is not an opportunity. Success is an outcome. We don't want outcomes. We want opportunities. We want an opportunity to learn and grow, and we can't do that while we're succeeding. Success is at the end of that learning and growing. But if we haven't done that learning and growing, and yet we're experiencing that success that comes after that learning and growing, but we haven't learned and grown to have that success, why do we have it? What is the point of having that success if we haven't learned and grown enough to have it? And the fact is that if we haven't learned and grown that way, then how can we maintain that success? Why is it a surprise when we experience that success, all we do is piss it away? It's not a surprise. And pissing that failure away, or pissing that success away, pissing that success that's given to us away, is really just the process of forcing ourselves to experience failure so that we can find success for ourselves. And like I said, we want to protect the people that we love from failure, but that's wrong. We don't want to give people success. We want to give people failure so that they can find success for themselves. Do you know what I mean? When we're constantly protecting, when we constantly think we're helping, when we constantly think we're doing things to find a place that this person can be successful in, we don't realize that all we're doing is projecting our own guilt onto this person, our own problems onto this person. We're saying, I experienced failure and I didn't learn from it. So you know what? I'm not going to, because I didn't learn from that failure, this person is not going to learn from theirs, but they're going to find success in a way that I didn't. And that's true. They are going to find success in a way that you didn't. And that's through failure. Because when you just give them success, how could they not experience failure with it? We give these people success and just expect that they're going to continue to find success. And then we don't understand when these people find failure and nothing but. We don't understand that when we give these people success and we protect them from failure, all we're doing is prolonging the inevitable. When we take the training wheels off, when we take our hands off the handlebars and let these people ride, all they do is fall down. And we got to understand that these people need time to find their own success. They can't just have our success. When we give people our success, they aren't learning from that. They're just taken from the outcome. There's no learning when we give someone success. You know, when a child often inherits a business, do you know that a large majority of those children just run that business into the ground? Because they don't know anything about business. They weren't ingrained in the business of business. They are just around this person who's experienced success, And this person just thinks, well, because they're around me, they're going to experience success too. They will experience success, but not through you, through failure. They have to learn. We have to give these people opportunities to learn. And when all we do is give them success devoid of opportunity, and just give them success with no opportunities at all, and just success, why wouldn't that person piss it away? Why wouldn't that person just piss away every ounce of success they have? It's because they're learning. It's because they haven't been given the opportunity to learn. And so when we learn with success, that's not the same thing as learning with failure. It's tougher when we are given success and then expected to learn from it, because the fact of the matter is that you're not going to learn from success. What the fuck do you have to learn from success? Nothing. All you do is reap the benefits without any of the struggle. And then when it comes time to struggle, all you do is break down, because all you've done is succeed. But when we have someone who all they've done is fail, and then we give them an opportunity, we find that more times than not, this person finds success. And it may not be the first or second time, but the thing is, that person isn't going to give up. That person isn't just going to say, oh, I failed, that's the end of it. They're going to understand that, oh, I failed, I need to adjust what I'm doing in order to find success. This failure is not an outcome. This failure is simply a road sign to say success that way. You need to take steps in order to get to success now. But you're on the right track. When you experience failure, that just means you're on the right track to success, but you're not there yet. And that's okay. That is okay to fail. Failing is the essence of life. Failing is what we need to do in life. Failure is what we need to chase in life. And if we're not chasing failure, if we're just chasing success, to what end are we chasing success? We're chasing success to fail. And it's such an ironic twist that if we chase success to fail, then we end up chasing failure to succeed. And that's really what life is chasing failure to succeed. And chasing the road to success, which is failure, to success. Failure is so important. And we can't just strip these people of the opportunities to learn from failure. And that's what we do in 2017. When someone fails, we say, no, you can't fail. We have videos of people failing so that we can look at these people and say, no, we don't want to do that. We want to learn from their failures. And that's an important thing. But in that idea of learning from other people's failures, we fail to fail. Do you understand? We protect ourselves from failure, and we can't do that. We have to open ourselves up to failure. In art, we have to open ourselves up to risk and prosecution and everything but success. What artist just painted and then succeeded on their first painting? When did that ever happen? When did an artist just do that one time and was wildly successful? I'll tell you when. Fucking never. That's never happened before. And if it did, they certainly didn't recreate that success. They didn't. It was just a one-time success. And maybe it was luck, maybe it was this, that. The last thing it was actually success. Because it wasn't found through failure. We need to find success through failure. We can't find failure through success. Well, we can, but it's just going to take us longer. It's just going to strip us of our time. Time is so important when it comes to success and failure. Time, we've been told that time is precious. And so as a result, we don't want to spend it. We've been told that time is so precious. Time, you only have so much time, so don't spend it on this and that. But you know what? If you don't spend it on this and that, then you're going to spend more time spending it on this and that. You just don't know it. And by the time you realize that, you're in this place where, oh my God, I've spent so much time on this, so much more time than I wanted to. Good. Because that means you're not learning. And if you're not learning, then all you're going to do is spend more and more time. You need to spend the time to fail so that you can save the time when it comes to success. Because if you're just given success, you're not saving time, you're spending time. You just don't know it yet. When we think we're saving a person time by allowing them to be successful, we don't understand that failure is going to take time to come out, and when it does, we're going to have to learn how to deal with that failure, or we're going to let it beat us. And then giving that person success was for nothing. When we give someone success and then they allow the first shred of failure to beat them, what the fuck was the point of giving them success? What was the point? There was no point. And the ultimate point was to protect them. But from what? What are we protecting someone from by giving them success? We're protecting them from themselves. And we can't do that. We need to allow that person to box themselves. We need to allow that person to fight against themselves. And we need to allow that person to understand that your greatest enemy is not your fellow man, but yourself. Your absolute greatest enemy is yourself. And there's no greater time when yourself is such an important opponent as to when you're faced with failure. Because that's when the makings of a man are shown. When you put failure in front of a man, that's when you see what that man is made of. When you see a man that has to come back, and when he has to make a comeback, we love the comeback. Our race, we love the comeback. Our people, we have comeback movies constantly. We don't just have movies of success, just wild success. And if we do, they're often over-dramatized to say that this person somehow deserved that success or this and that. No one deserves success before failure. No one. No one. And if you think you do, you're wrong. And you know what? I don't have to tell you you're wrong. That's the most important part of all. I don't have to tell you you're wrong because you're going to figure it out for yourself. Or you're not. But either way, you're not going to continue to find success if you've been given it. You're going to find failure. And that's just natural. So don't give these people success. Give them failure. And I wish I would have known that. I wish I would have understood that when I was failing. When I was failing, that look, failure is the most important thing. No one ever told me that. Everyone always told me to run away from failure. No one ever told me that failure was an opportunity. And so that's why I'm telling you today. Because no one ever told me, and I wish somebody would have. More than anything, I wish somebody would have just sat me down and looked me in the face and said, Jason, you're going to fail and that's okay. I wish somebody would have said that to me. I wish somebody would have just looked at me and said, your ego is going to drive you away from your failure, but you can't. That failure is going to bring you closer to everything you've ever wanted. Everything that you've ever wanted is just a couple failures away. I wish somebody would have told me that, but instead, people told me that everything that you've ever wanted is just success away. It's just success. Well, what the fuck does that mean? But I thought I knew what that meant. Because I watch people succeed my whole life. That's all we do is watch people succeed. We never get an opportunity to watch people fail. Failure is such a personal thing. Failure is just such a divine thing. It's such a thing that we can't quantify with anyone else but ourselves. When I describe to you my failures, they feel empty because you're not feeling them. But when you talk about your failures, that's important to you because you're feeling it. And talking about failures is like sex. Talking about failure is more revered than sex today. People just don't understand that. People want to hide their failures more than they do their own bodies. A woman would rather have sex with you than talk about all the failures in her life. And that's the truth. A man would rather give you all his money than talk about all the failures in his life. Well, that's a little bit much, but you understand what I mean. A person wants to give you what they have to give before they ever want to tell you about their failures because they think you're going to look at them differently, and you are. Because you're not looking at their failures for what they are. You're looking at what what their failures are, in terms of what you're quantifying them as. And your perspective when it comes to someone else's failure is fucking irrelevant. Or I should say, it's not relevant. It doesn't, like I said, you're not feeling that failure. You're not learning from that failure. And you might be learning from that failure in a way, but you're not learning in the way that person did. No fucking way are you learning from failure in the way that person did. And you might just a little bit. And we appreciate that when someone says that failure, but we're not learning from it. And you know what we're definitely not learning from? Is stories of someone's success. That's just gross to me. It's just you want to talk about a waste of fucking time? Is hearing about your success. I don't want to fucking hear about your success. What the fuck? I don't want to, as a 27-year-old man, grown man who's experienced more failure than anyone, who has self-sabotaged himself to the point of homelessness twice. I don't want to. I have stripped myself and everything I've ever had of myself just to experience failure and not even know it, to chase failure to its utter core. And come back with this knowledge. I'm not looking to tell you about my success. That's why I don't talk about my success. Because you know what? I haven't had that much success. And I really don't want that much success yet. Because when I have it, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold on to it. And I know one thing, though, that I'm going to fight for it. I'm going to fight for that success. And that's not something a lot of people will say. Some people are just willing to give up their success. Some people are just willing, and you want to know why they're willing to do that? Is because they haven't fought for it. They haven't experienced so much failure that they say, you know what? You can give me that success, and I'm going to fail with it, but I'm going to continue to fail with it. And I'm not going to be scared to do that. I'm not going to be scared to back down when I fail. And so many people are just, you know, you show them even a glimpse of failure and they're running for the fucking hills like there's an army headed their way, when really there's just a little rabbit coming. You know, it's just a little tiny rabbit. But that little rabbit, when we pick that rabbit up and we listen to what it has to say, and it goes, and you're fucking... Or when the rabbit does anything and we listen to what it has to say, we realize that this rabbit, it might just be a rabbit, but it's not. And we might be quantifying this rabbit with some wild animal, but it's not. It's something majestic. It's something that we can spend our whole lives capturing and never fully understand. It's this thing that isn't a rabbit, but we're seeing it as a rabbit. Do you understand? It could be a giraffe. It could be an elephant. It could be anything. But what we're seeing it as is not what it is. And what you're chasing right now in your life, that's not what it is. You think it's something it's not. You have this idea that what you're chasing in life is this thing that it's not. And that's because you haven't experienced it. And the second you do experience it, the first thing you realize is, this is not what I thought it was. At all times. That's when you get what you want, the first fucking thing you know is that this isn't really what I wanted. You know, and so then you go to the next hollow thing you're after, and the next thing, and the next thing, without ever understanding that what you're chasing isn't what you want. What you're chasing is what your mind wants, but it's not what you want. You know, your being as a whole. And I don't know what you want, but I know how you can get it. And that's through failure, not success. Success is just an outcome. Success is just a dead end. Success is just a place you're going to go and sit down. Seriously. Say, what the fuck is the point of sitting down? You can't sit down in this life. And success is going to make you feel like you have the opportunity to sit down now and take a break. You don't. You do not. If you think that you have the time to chase success but not failure, you're going to find out real quick that all you have time for is failure. And I wish more than anything else in this life, I wish that somebody would have just sat me down and told me to chase failure. That's what I'm doing right now. That's what I've been doing for these past 4 shows, is I've been chasing failure. I've been calling all you bitch faggots. I've been sabotaging myself. I'm fucking up my career one show at a time, and you know what? I fucking love it. I fucking love it. And I'm going to continue to love it, and I'm going to continue to do it. And guess what, you fucking bitch faggot dick suckers? Deal with it, because I'm chasing failure. And if you can respond to it any way you want, but you're not experiencing it the way I am. You're taking it personal when you shouldn't be. And you're not taking it personal when you fucking should be. You're not experiencing success. You're experiencing failure. You're not experiencing failure when you experience failure. You're experiencing success. Failure is success, and success is failure. We have these concepts mixed up. We totally have these concepts mixed up. Success is failure, and failure is success. When we feel like we have enough time to sit down, that's failure. 100%. When we feel comfortable enough, when we are comfortable, we are at our worst as human beings. Look at what we've done to the world today. Look at what we've done to ourselves. Look at what we do to each other every fucking day. This comfortable place is failure, not success. And we need to keep moving. We think we've reached a place of success. We haven't. We've reached a place of failure. We need to keep moving. Failure is success, and success is failure. There is no in between. That's what it is. We have these concepts mixed up. 100%. You can't stop when you experience success. You need to keep moving. You need to keep going. You just need to keep going. And when you experience failure, you can't sit down either. You need to go twice as hard, and you need to find that success. And once you have that feeling of, okay, I can sit down now, that's when you realize, fuck, I can't sit down. I got my next failure to chase after. And when you experience failure, you should be putting your hands in the air and say, I'm fucking nearly there. Fuck yeah. I'm almost there. Just a little bit more. And then once you get there, you go, fuck, this isn't what I wanted. I need to keep moving. And that's what life is. Really, there is no success in this life. There's really not. This self-centered idea that there is success is just wrong. It's just nasty, and it does things to people that we don't understand. This success, it warps our minds into thinking that we're something we're not. We're not our success. We're still the same thing we were before we ever found that success. And this idea that we're something greater now that we have success is just wrong. It's just bad. I don't know what we're thinking by chasing after it. It's just not right. But I can't rant on that enough. And like I said, I wish that one of my coaches, one of my sales teachers, anybody in this life, I wish somebody would have just told me that. Would have just said, Jason, I keep saying Jacob, I'm mixing Jacob and Jason up. Jason, because I've been reading the Bible a little bit. Jason, don't fucking give up on failure. Keep going. Just keep those feet moving. And when you get to success, that's the worst of all. Success is the devil. You can't fucking stop at success. Are you fucking kidding me? If you stop at success, all you're going to find is failure. And you know what? Maybe that's what you need to do. And that's what most people do. When they find success, they just sit their asses down and wait for failure to come. And it comes like a fucking freight train. Boom, 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 poof! Till it smokes them right in the fucking chin and leaves them out cold. And they wake up like, what the fuck just happened? You got hit by failure, bitch. That's what it is. That to me is the word of God. That to me should be in the Bible. That to me is the Bible. Failure is success, and success is failure. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. And so even getting back to my life, even those friends that I trusted the most, I eventually lost them too. Of course I did. We all fucked each other over. We all did different shit, and then I found new friends, and guess what I did with those friends? The same thing I did with my old friends, because I didn't learn shit, because I was still doing the same thing. In fact, I was doing worse things. I actually learned less from my new friends than I did my old friends. Fucking figure that out. And a lot of my friends tried to push success on me. My family especially tried to push success on me. And I don't know why. I think it was just guilt. I think it was just enabling. I think it was just them trying to help without understanding what help really was. They thought help was help when help was just enabling. They didn't understand that. And I'm so glad that I understand that. And I'm so glad that I can share that with you today. Help is enabling for the most part. There is some good help, but I'm not going to get back into that again. But I always revisit that because so many fucking people don't understand that. They're so protective of success and failure. They don't understand that these things are fleeting. They don't understand that regardless if we find either or, we're still chasing it at the end of the day. We're just on to the next one. Doesn't matter. And so, to tie this all around, when I experienced that failure as a salesman, I quit. I quit at being a salesman. I called myself a salesman, but I didn't do the number one thing that a salesman does, and that's learn how to fail so that I can move on to my next one. You know, what was the point of being a salesman if I didn't know how to fail? That's what my teacher saw in me right away. Was he saw that I might find success, but the first chance of failure, I'm going to fuck right off. And so rather than give me that success, he just gave me that opportunity to grow. But I didn't see that for what it was. I saw it for what I thought it was. And to all of you who quit and never looked back and are now sabotaging everyone around them by trying to make them successful, don't. Stop. You're toxic. Success is toxic. Success is like a fucking landfill full of nuclear waste. Just get away from it. Just if you're on top of that pile, great. Good for you. But get away from it. Find a place where you're going to fail. Because when you're failing, you're growing. When you're failing, you're going somewhere. You're understanding that you might not be where you want to go, but fuck, at least you've hit a signpost to know, you have to go here and here, and then you're going to find that success. And you're probably going to sit down once you do. And the second you sit down, failure is coming for you. Like a train. Chugga, 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 chugga. It's coming. Look out. It's coming. You better ride that, bitch. You better ride those rails, bitch. Oh, fuck yeah. You better ride those rails to the next failure. You hear that? That's the LRT. That's the failure train, my friend. It's rolling. It's on rolling. It's keeping going. It never stops. That train is going to find the next person if it ain't finding you. Because there's always someone. There's always some dumb motherfucker that thinks the second they find success, they can sit down. The fuck is wrong with you? The fuck is wrong with you? You don't got time to sit down. Success or failure, you don't got the fucking time. So don't take it. Do not. Do not. Yeah. And that's it. That's the rant. And that's the wisdom even of today. I don't know. I think I might have missed a couple of wisdoms here. But this is more than making up for it. Yeah. Chase failure. Don't chase success. If you chase success, all you're going to find is failure. But if you chase failure, at least you're on the road to success. At least you're going to get to where you're going to go eventually. You got to take the time, but you're going to get there. If you just chase success, you're not going to get there. You might think you're there, but you're fucking not. You're not ever going to be there. Do you understand that? You're not ever going to be there. But you can get somewhere close to there. And that's not through success. That's through failure. Keep riding those rails, bitch. Keep doing it. Keep finding failure more than anything. Chase it to the bitter end. And understand that life is going to throw tests at you. People are going to throw tests at you that you're not ever meant to pass. That you're meant to failure. You're meant to fail, on those tests. You got to understand that. You got to understand that failing is okay. Failing is great. Failing is what life is all about. It's divine. Failure is divine. Failure is everything that we could ever want, but we just run away from it, and we don't see it for what it is. I love all of you, but some of you dumb motherfuckers and your here's 10 ways to find success. Here's one way to find success. Fail. And it's the truth. 10 ways to find success. That is fucking bullshit. All that, find success, find this, you gotta fucking fail first. You gotta fail. You gotta fail. So fail. So keep failing. If you're failing, then just keep failing. And you'll eventually get to where you're gonna go. But don't just fucking quit. Don't quit at the first signs of failure. Be a soldier. Have some soul and be a fucking soldier and keep on going. Don't just quit. That's what people do today. At the first sign, they just quit. Don't quit. I quit. I was the worst quitter of all. I would just fail on purpose so I could quit. How fucking lame is that? What kind of lame ass shit is that? That was me. That was me. I just did that. And I don't know why. I do know why. It's because I was protected from my failures. I was told that my failures were something they weren't. And that's wisdom. That's fucking wisdom. That's me being stupid for 20 fucking years and coming out with just a shred of wisdom. Take it for what it is. Hell yeah. These people selling success, these people are the fucking devil. These people are saying, I'm going to sell you a way to be comfortable. The fuck? The last thing I want to be in this life is comfortable. The fuck is wrong with you? God, that fucking just kills me. Find failure. Don't run from it. Do not run from your failure. Your failure is more than anything that you deserve. You don't deserve failure. So when it comes your way, take it. Failure is divine. Failure is from God himself or herself or itself. It's straight from the source. It's straight from the essence. So take it and run with it. It's a gift. Failure is a gift. From the heavens. It's raining down right now everywhere around us. Opportunities are raining down everywhere around us. And we don't see it because we're too busy chasing this thing we think we want. Failure is like the rain. Get wet. Get fucking wet. Get fucking wet. Alright, you bitch faggots? That's the motto of failure, is bitch faggots. That's what it means. That's what it is. It's failure. So chase it. Chase being a bitch faggot. That's what I did my whole fucking life. And you know what? I came out with some knowledge. And I'm not going to sit here and rant about, I had this and that. I failed a lot. And I wasn't any better, but I understand that now. And now I can start to be better. Now I can begin to be better. And I'm not going to quantify my success based on somebody else's. I'm going to quantify my success based on what I had yesterday and what I have today and what I'll have tomorrow and what I'll have when I'm fucking dead, which is nothing. So you know what? If all I have when I'm fucking dead is nothing, then today's pretty fucking good. And if I was born with nothing, then today's pretty fucking good. You understand? You're doing so much better than you're ultimately gonna do, which is have nothing. So just keep on going. Keep failing. I'm just gonna keep ranting on this over and over, so I gotta end it. But that's the wisdom. That's the ultimate wisdom of this show. Keep failing. My name is Jason Van Jason. You can find me on Twitter at Jason Van Jason. As I forgot, for all the diehard fans out there, if you're a diehard fan, there's only one thing you need to do to sign up to the Jason Van Jason diehard fan club. You gotta go to Google. You gotta type in Amazon Author Central, Jason Van Jason. You gotta go there and you gotta look at that list on Google, and there's gonna be other people with the name Jason Van something, and you gotta tell those people that they're fucking bitch, homo, faggot, dick sucking, fucking cunt, nigger, faggots, fucking, they're everything. They're imposters. Fuck those people. Fuck every single one of those people who's not me. That's what you gotta do if you want to be a diehard fan. That's it. That's the only thing you gotta do. Anyways, also check out my Amazon Author Central page where you can buy my products. Oh my God. Oh my word. Thank you for the knowledge of failure. I'm passing it on to you now. You got to pass it on to someone else. Understand that these concepts are mixed up. Success is failure and failure is success. It is what it is. Anyways, I love all of you. Take care. Keep failing. Don't sit down when you find success. Don't get comfortable ever. That's the worst thing you could ever do. Take risks. Don't just be a comfortable person. Fuck, my cigarette went out. Anyways, love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.